Hi everyone, and welcome to Monday Night Stamping, where we come together and we chat and we connect and we have some paper crafting fun as we unlock some ideas and be inspired and just enjoy the evening together. If you're watching the replay, I know that you're enjoying it too, and please feel free to connect and chat in the chat, whether you're YouTube or Facebook replay or wherever. We love to see you interacting and communicating and just giving feedback and letting us know you're there. I'm Lillian of Stamper's Niche. I'm coming to you from Alberta, Canada, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator who loves to share paper crafting. I don't know about where you're in the world. I know it's different in different parts, but around here, everybody is getting ready for back to school. So it's back to school frenzied shopping. Some people are ready ahead of time, others not so much. And looking at that school supply list and all that kind of thing. When it's back to school time in your area, what are some of your feelings? Do you remember maybe doing that for yourself, or do you have kids you're getting ready for back to school things? For myself, I love to still go down the aisles of the school supplies, and I just love to look and see what's going on and what's new, and it just brings back good memories of having to label everything. I'm not so sure my parents had good memories because it was always expensive, but for kids, it's exciting. It's like the beginning of a new year, almost more of a new year than New Year's, actually, I think. So share some of your thoughts about back to school shopping and how you feel about that and what this time of year brings to you. And I will gradually here, everything's kind of tight, get this set up so that you can see my desktop. And okay, it always wants to readjust itself. I'm so glad you're here with us, and we're ready for a good night tonight. So I see lots of people saying hi. I'm so glad. Thank you for saying hi, by the way, and say hi to each other too. So just a quick reminder before we get going, the kit sale, where kits, all of Stampin' Up's kits are 30% off. That ends the end of August, which is Thursday. So be sure that you've taken advantage of it. The other thing to be sure about is if you earned bonus coupons, make sure you have redeemed us. I've just read somebody's comment and I saw the word us. Sorry about that. Redeemed your bonus coupons. We all love a good deal, so make sure you've done that. All righty. A while ago, I don't know, maybe it would be two or three Facebook Lives ago or YouTubes ago. It was called Cards. And I shared different cards I'd received and asked for your input as to what you would like to see me demo. And one of the cards that you wanted me to demo was this fun fold. So this card was done by Lorna Rezinski, and I received it in a shoebox swap, or at Creative Carnival, pardon me. But a lot of you wanted to know how to do this fold. So that's what I'm going to do tonight, and I'm just calling this because you asked for it. And usually we think of that maybe negatively, but this is because you asked for it, all right? So what I did first off is I took a good look at the card, and I realized that the card base was a piece of cardstock that was 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I have that. And then this here was a piece of cardstock that was folded in half, and it was actually 2 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. So scored halfway, and it's like that. And then it gets fastened onto the front of this. And that's the basic design of this fun fold. So then I got thinking, what do I want to use on the card? So we've got this sample. What would I like to use on this card? And I just couldn't resist. This paper has just blown my mind. I love designer paper, but this paper is spectacular. And I know you can't get your hands on it yet unless you're a demonstrator, but September 6th, you can order this paper, or you can take part in my paper share and you'll get it. But it's got photographs on one side, and then on the other side, it has metallic. Absolutely stunning. So this is a warm, cozy blanket, just beautiful fall textures. And look at that. There's copper in there. And oh, who doesn't want to walk down that road or pathway? And then this is on that side. And then we've got the barnwood kind of look. And this here, it's absolutely stunning. Then there's this, like you've taken a photograph down from the top and of the trees. And then we've got that there. This is just some rich textured fabric. And then that tile work, again, there's metallic in that. Pumpkins, I love how they've taken like the aerial view, so from above. And there we've got it like that. So I can never decide which side of this paper I like the most. These books, oh, yes, they just fabulous. And there's that. And some more tile. And there's a cushiony chair, leather chair. I see you've got some of these right side up and some upside down, but regardless. So when I looked through this paper, I knew I wanted to use this paper. Then I thought, which of them? And it was really hard to choose, but I ended up choosing this paper here. So the reverse side of it is this. So when we get our designer papers and it comes in a package, it actually tells you the coordinating colors. Now, that doesn't mean you are not allowed to use any other color. You're welcome to, but it certainly gives you a jumping off point. So I gathered all of those coordinating colors, and there are a lot of them. So let's just see here. I think there's one more hiding here. There we go. So these are all the coordinating colors that go with that designer paper. So I got these out. And by the way, if you ever do something like this, I find I keep these swatches on my desk all the time and play with them when I'm trying to design a card. It just might be a tool you would enjoy making for yourself. So I brought this in, and so Mossy Meadow, I decided was one of the colors I wanted to use, and copper clay. I could have gone with lots of others, but I narrowed it down to this because sometimes you just have to make a decision, right? And then I had to play around. Did I want the copper clay on the bottom and the Mossy Meadow on top, or did I want the Mossy Meadow on the bottom and the copper clay on top? And then I was just, so I finally just made a decision and decided that I would go with the Mossy Meadow on the bottom. Now remember, where did I put that? This is, the bottom piece is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, so a 1/4 piece of cardstock. Let's just put that there. So we've got that. And then the decision was, okay, oh, sorry, bring this back in. And this piece was 2 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. So it's going to be like that. Now I'm going to follow Lorna's measurements for the designer paper and Lorna's measurements for this, but you can see already that if you wanted this middle section to be wider, you could definitely do that, right? You could change the things up all that you want, but here is the basics of the card. And so I've been playing around here, and I could put this paper here. Actually, I could put this paper. Let's just play around. Here, here, here. So I could make all panels the same paper, or I could cut it out and make some of the panels different colors. Or I could keep it this way and turn this. So you can see, you can sort of end up having decisions galore. But let's just go with it, right? So let's take this, and we're going to cut this paper 4 by 4 3/4. So 4 is 1/4 of an inch narrower this way, 4 3/4 because we're going to be cutting panels. So let's see. Let's cut it at 4. I'm going to save that for another project, that's for sure, by 4 3/4. Now, we want to cut it in panels so that we can have these two here, and we're going to use designer paper here. So we're going to cut this at 1 1/4. I'll just bring my measurements in so you can see it here. We're going to cut it at 1 1/4. Like that. I'm going to keep them in order for now. Then I'm going to cut it at 2 1/4. And you'll notice that this piece here is also 1 1/4. So these two are actually the same size, and you see how the panels are coming together here. So we'll get that off to the side. We'll put this here for now. And here's my decision. Do I keep them all with the tree side up? Or do I flip some of these and show both sides of this gorgeous paper? And for tonight, I'm going to flip it. I'm going to show you a different card at the end that used the panel without any flipping of a different designer paper. So what we're going to do first off is we're going to fasten these two down. We'll just add some adhesive, and I don't know about you, but I find it sometimes easier to twist my cardstock. Just like that, and we'll do the same with this side. So hard to cover up the other side, but we're going to get to see it anyway. So there we go. We've got it like that. Then this is going to go in the middle here. Pretty easy, isn't it? It looked like a really fancy fold. So you could do this easily with so many different things. So I'm trying to center this. I see I didn't get that totally straight, but it'll be okay. I can heat that up. Do you all know that you can heat with your heat tool and loosen your adhesive and slide it over a little bit? I'll do that afterwards. I'm going to put this on here, but I want to add some ribbon first. So before I put that on, I am bringing in some of the gorgeous, gorgeous new ribbon. And these two ribbons here were actually designed to go with this paper. You can see how beautiful that is right there. I think I'm only going to use this ribbon here tonight. So here we go like this. And then I'm going to bring in some linen thread. Whew, looks like I need some more. And I want to tie a bow here. So you know when it's a thick ribbon, when you do the scrunching up business, it kind of pulls it in, doesn't it? So I'm actually going to tie, I'm going to leave enough that I can make a bow, but I'm just going to tie a knot here initially, because then I will have a better idea of how to do the ribbon. Otherwise, I might buckle my paper, and I don't want to do that. So let's put it, well, first of all, let's cut that linen thread. There we go. And there, I think I'm going to put it just the center, just offset it a little bit. So I'll bring in my seal. I could use a glue dot. I could use tear and tape, doesn't matter, just something to hold that ribbon in place on the back. So we've got it on that side and on that side. Ooh, I think I like that. All right, then we're going to stick that down. How many of you are liking this paper, by the way? Let me know. And do you have a favorite from this paper? Whoops, a little extra glue there. Any favorites? There we go. We've got it like that. So now we're just going to tie a little bow. Went and got glue on my fingers, not a smart idea. There we go. And we've got that like that. This is really bugging me. I'm going to actually heat it up right now so that you can see. I'm going to heat it from behind because this paper is metallic. Somebody's used a whole spool of the copper ribbon. Wow. Somebody likes it as much as I do, it sounds like. Okay, let's see. It's starting to release. It needs a little more heat. And maybe you can't even see that it's crooked on camera, but I can see it in real life. And it's bugging me. You're not sure about the photograph ones. Well, do you know what, Rhonda? The neat thing about this paper is that the other side is so good. Well, it really does work. I know, because I've done this many times. It just has to get hot enough, and sometimes I'm not quite patient enough to do it. Oh, it's starting to come. Not quite there yet. Bonnie, you'll have to share a picture of your swaps once everybody's got them. We'd love to see. Okay, let's see how we're doing here. It's coming. The other thing is, if it tears a little bit, no one's going to be any the wiser, right? We'll put a little bit of extra glue down there, even though it still will be sticky. And we'll straighten that out, and I'll be a far more happy camper here. I was doing one of my Christmas in August classes the other day, and one of the ladies was concerned because some of her corners weren't sticking down. So we did the little trick where we brought in scrap paper and put glue in and then slid it under. And she was thrilled to have her solution fixed like that. If any of you started making your Christmas cards, that was likely my first, getting ready for that class. Okay, that was just a little side trip, and I will flatten that out a little better. We're ready for the next step. So for the inside, you need somewhere to write, correct? So we're going to put this on the inside. It's 2 1/4 by 4, and you can definitely stamp it or whatever. I am going to put just a little bit of this in case I change my mind and want to do some more stamping. Right now, I think I need all that space. And then, you know, this looks autumn-ish. It needs something to finish it off. So I thought, how about some leaves? So we have this lovely distressed gold, and I thought that might look nice with this. We also have some copper clay, which would look nice, and we could bring in vellum too. Now, I haven't yet got the leaves from the leaf set in the new catalog, but I do have aspen trees, and I've decided that this leaf here would actually work well with this card. So remember, always take a look through what you have when you're in the middle of a designing designing kind of thing. And I cut a few of those leaves out ahead of time. So let's just see, we could put one here. We could put one here. I had envisioned those leaves going a different way, but my bow ended up in a different spot. So, and we could have one go here, or we could have a vellum one. And those are all great. And I'm going to be using some of them, definitely. But I wanted to show, oh, I like how that's getting arranged. I wanted to show you a little technique here. So this is how that leaf cuts out. It has the veins in it, and it's gorgeous, just like that. But how can you get it to look like that? So let's see the difference. So do you want to know how I did that? What technique I used? What I did was I put my die, it is a little messy, I will tell you that, right in the ink pad. So I'm using copper clay, and I'm going to put it right in the ink pad. And I'm going to bring in my Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine and get it set up right away here. So I'm going to put my paper down, and I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool and get that out. Tweezers would work great too. Hang on to the edges, and you can see now that it's got ink on it. Put it down. Once it's down, you really don't want to move it because it would smear the ink. And then we're going to run it through. I'm just trying to be careful not to move it. And voila, we have got all that texture with a bit of ink, so you've got the light and dark. Now to clean your die, just run it under the tap and pat it dry. It'll be fine. I'm going to put that in a safe spot right now. So that's how I got this look right here. So let's put this away. So how many of you have done that before? How many of you have put your die right in an ink pad and then used it and got all that different texture and that kind of thing happening? Is that a new technique to you, or have you done it before? Let me know. And I am actually going to bring in my glue dots and fasten some of these in with those. Now, this is lifting up, so it's okay if this sticks out over the edge here a little bit. In fact, I kind of like that. And I love this distressed gold with it as well. Like that. And Rhonda, you said you've done embossing folders but not dies. Yes, I tend to do embossing folders more, and I forget about the dies. But it really does add just another use for your dies. And the more we can use our tools, the better, right? So now we have got a card that looks oh so elegant, and it opens like this, and it's fabulous. Now, what if you want some sentiments? So I thought, well, what sentiments could I put on here? And I brought in the Pick of the Patch stamp set. So it's got the pumpkins. It can be jack-o'-lanterns too. It's Thanksgiving, fall, all of that kind of thing, Halloween. And then I zeroed in on this stamp right here. So I've got it mounted, and it is a photopolymer, in other words, the clear stamps. So we do want a bit of a cushion. You get a better image when you do that, but I just wanted the word blessings. I didn't want a harvest of blessings. I just wanted blessings. So I brought in my marker, and what I'm going to do is using the brush tip of my marker and the side of it, I am actually just going to color the word blessings here, because that's the only word I want. Another option, if I wanted to do this, I could have covered this part with a Post-it note and then used my ink pad. So that's another technique for highlighting just one word. So there we go. And I do huff on it. That re-moistens it. Just like that. And then I thought, okay, I want to cut out a tag. And so I went looking through the dies that I have. And one set of dies are the crackers and treat box dies. And there are so many little labels in here. And I used this one and I cut it out, leaving it towards that end, and ended up with this. So we're going to use this on the card. And then I thought, let's get rid of some of this stuff. I thought, well, it looks a little bit funny on its own. So then I cut out one more with the Mossy Meadow, and we can angle them together, and we can cut them down if we want to. So we could add that. So what do you think? Should we add the words or leave them off? What are your thoughts there? Add the words or leave them off and leave it plain on the front? Add or leave plain? Let me know what you're thinking. Add the words, add the words. Okay, we're adding the words, and I'm just going to offset them a bit like that. I think I'll use a glue dot to do that. There we go. We could have added in the copper clay as well. You could get a whole fan there going, but we'll just do it this way. Now, if the words were too long, because I kept them that direction, we could cut off some of that end too, and we might have to. We'll see. So let's see here. It's almost too much of an angle. What do you think? I think that's going to work just fine. There we go. So there's the card. Now we could use some embellishments, right? So we have the rustic metallic adhesive back dots. So we've got these, or we have the brushed metallic. Here's a full thing. So what do you think? So on this one, or the rustic or the brushed? Rustic or brushed? What do you think? Rustic or brushed? Brushed, brushed, brushed. That's these ones. Okay, perfect. All right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to mix my metallics up. Let's just try that out. I'm not going to push hard. I'm just going to rest them, see what I like. And, oh, I should have left a little more room there maybe. I think I'll put it right there. Huh, I like that. Okay, I'll stick them down. And there is our card, just like that. So here was our inspiration, the one that you asked for. Here is how we use the new autumn paper. And when I was planning this one, I used the One Horse Open Sleigh paper, and I took the scene and just cut the scene apart like this, and kept the whole scene intact, which is what people really are kind of wanting with this gorgeous paper. So there is that one there. So 3 samples of the exact same design and the same measurements All right. So like I was saying, you could easily adjust your measurements and make them a little bit different, but it gives you the idea of the center panel opening. It's just like that. So I think I found it was really fun to do with these brand new papers that are looking so pretty, but any of your papers, it will look absolutely stunning. So if you are somebody who's really enjoying designer paper and really likes the designer paper in the new upcoming catalog, by the way, who has their catalog? Let us know. That's the September to December mini catalog, what we sometimes call the holiday catalog. If you want it all, what you can do is take part in a designer paper share or a ribbon share or all of it. So go to bit.ly/Lillian Shares and you can find out all the details there. I'll also put the link in the comments afterwards. So while you're still here, I have one other card I think I've shared before that I made with the same designer paper, and I used the same idea of the ribbon being tied and the leaves. So it's a very much the same elements, I guess. And so there is another card made with that paper there. And then I received some cards in the mail. And so this is a gorgeous, gorgeous one. This is from the online exclusives. The name of the set, I can't think of it right now. Some of you know it, I'm sure. So if you could jot that into the comment section, those of you that know, that was out of stock for a little bit. It's back in stock. It's got a bird, the angel, a Santa, I think. And anyway, here is another great fold. So that is from Karen Yeomans. And I received this fabulous card from Pam. So she's used the designer paper as a panel here. And when you open it up, see it's got the fun fold and it opens like that and you see the paper all the way along. So that again is gorgeous. Then I had a downline meeting. A downline is the people who have signed up to be a demonstrator underneath me. And we like to swap cards. And so this was Carolyn's card here, like that. This one here was Lynn's. So it's like a book card. It folds right here, but watch the inside. When you open it up, it's like that, but yet there's another page. So it's a book card with pages, which is really neat. And then you get to see both sides of the designer paper as well. So just love that concept. And then from Nadine, this cute little book owl, like that. And then this was from Laura, and she cut all these images out of the designer paper and then added the greeting there. So much fun with that. Linda did this one. This is Linda Hawk. I know we've got a lot of Lindas on here. So again, absolutely beautiful. And these words just pop. And it's another one of the Z fold cards, but done this way. So just like that. And do you notice that this one back here actually lines up with this half here so that it frames this panel on the front? Did you notice that? Pretty tricky. I like that. And then this one was by Mark, who's also in my downline. So you receive it and it looks like this. And then when you open it up, it's got like this. So another really fun fold. So do you find fun folds just fun to play with? So those are some of the cards that have been coming in to my mailbox. I just love the Happy Mail. Just super, super, super. So tonight's card was this one here. And there's a variation. And there's the one that caused you to say you wanted me to do it. So thank you so much for joining me tonight, everyone. Remember, if you are wanting your kits on sale or if you have bonus coupons, use them before Thursday. because today is actually August the 28th. Yes, I can't believe it. So thank you again, everyone. Thank you for those who leave such encouraging comments, who share my videos, whether it's on YouTube or wherever. I appreciate it all so very, very much. So take care and enjoy your last week of August. Bye-bye.